Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Professor Madya, Dr. Saifuliza, my U10 supervisor, and Encik Muhammad Arif Milon, my industry supervisor. My name is NORAINI binti KAMARUDDIN. I am from Bachelor of Technology Marketing. My objective I do industry training is to gain a new skill at the new industry and to know how the lifestyle of the working world. I want to present about experience I have gained at the Apps Electric Malaysia Sdn Bhd. Company background. Apps Electric Malaysia Sdn Bhd established at 17 April 1989. Managing Director is Echi Domon. Manufacturing license at 6 June 1989 and the opening ceremony at the 30 July 1990. And field of business is electronic component, automotive, home and mobile. Apps Electric also have the global network. The first is China, second is America, third is Mexico, and the last is Korea. Apps Electric also have 30 experience in the manufacturing. For the example, at 1989, Apps Electric have the experience in the Swiss, and the 1919, the Apps Electric have the experience at the Tech Swiss, and the 1993, Apps Electric have the experience in the video cylinder, and the 1999 Apps Electric has the experience at the desktop keyboard, and the 20 Apps Electric have the experience in the flexible printed device, and the third is 24 Apps Electric have the experience in the photo printer. And the next is 2011 Apps Electric have the experience in stand position sensor, and the last is 2030 Apps Electric have the experience in steering angle sensor. Nature of works. The first thing I learned at the Apps Electric Malaysia Sdn Bhd is how to manage the product of cutter metal material and the supply managed inventory. The product of cutter metal material is the coil, and the product of the managed inventory is the resin. The place of the product at the procurement warehouse. The first is the of the production give the part issues into the warehouse workers, and the second is worker of the procurement warehouse do the pull card slip. After that, the worker of procurement scan the name of the product using the barcode that provided by the procurement warehouse. After that, they move the product into the production line. Another thing I have learned is first in, first out procedure. It benefit to the procurement warehouse worker to make sure all the product have the date of the arrival at the warehouse. Another thing is the FIFO also must to be followed for the workers to checklist all the product. For the example, the product of the coil have the 3 months of the deadline. After that, the worker should have keyed in all the information in the system. This is because the Apps Electric have the agreement with the coil supplier to make sure the process of the pay of the product after 3 months of the product arrive at the. I also learned about how to deal with the supplier. At the incoming receiving area CRA, I learned about how to deal the best of the price with the supplier. For the example, at the CRA, we purchase the office things such as pen, paper, and the liquid paper, and so on. Another thing is for the office worker use. This is important for me as CRA to make sure we get the best price of the supplier. We have many of the supplier at the different of the company to send all the product at the CRA warehouse. Identify the reject product. The reject product usually have the damaged box. The box damage from the supplier. This is we have to claim the box. In this case, send the product to Incoming Quality Control IQC to make sure the product was rejected. IQC check the product one by one to make sure. This is important for me to get the proof to make sure the supplier believe the product is the reject. This is also for me to make the report to the supplier. IQC double check the reject product and make sure the thing is reject. After that, I email the supplier by the pull card in slip. Another thing I have learned is how to manage the another product of the F electric such as Jengka F electric product. Must to manage the product of the Jengka F electric. For the example, CRA workers use the invoice from the supplier to divide the item into two. For the first is for the company user at the Nilai and the second is for the company user at the Jengka. This is important to make sure all the quantity product is enough to the two company. This is also help the company manage the budget. How to communicate with another workers. This is important for me to get know well with the another workers to make all the work is smooth. In this case, I have to learn how to get close with them. I also learn how to make sure all the work is easily for me by ask them if I have no experience at the work. Since I have learned at the F electric is how to do the business. For the example, at the CRA place, the deal of supplier is very difficult thing. In this case, the CRA workers must do the best of the price to get the good of the quality of the product in the lowest price. For the example, CRA workers have to search how many the supplier to make sure the best of supplier have been selected. In this case also, CRA workers deal with supplier with every time at different of the supplier. For the example, supplier send the product into the CRA warehouse using their transportation. In this case, the F electric can manage the budget from using their transportation. Challenge I have faced at the industry training is how to manage of the reject product. In this case, it's difficult to me to get the proof to send to the supplier. This is also difficult for me. To make sure the product was really rejected. For the example, the product have to move into the production line. The production line told me the product was rejected and sent the product to the IQC department. IQC department checked the product and told me the product is not rejected and the product can be used to the production line. In this case, it's difficult to me to tell the production line to use the product. It's also difficult to me to explain to the supplier to cancel the complaint of the reject product. Is this get me know how to manage of the reject product? It's also learn about how to make sure the first information I get is correct. Another problem I have to face is difficult to manage the product of the purchase order. In this case, the product of the order by the another workers and not inform me about they order the product from the supplier and also told me to order the product. In this case, the product have gone at the same time at the warehouse procurement. It also can make me not know what the real product is they want. Another challenge that I have to face is during MCO, I cannot do the inventory. In this because the product have many arrive at the company. It's also difficult to manage all the product and the date of the coming product. It's also every month. Usually we have the inventory, but during the MCO, the product sometimes not be send the invoice and we cannot do the inventory. This is difficult too. In my conclusion, I have learned how to receive the order from the third management and how to settle the order by follow the time. I also learned how to work together and communicate with other workers.